Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, Greg Gorley, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, and Ben and Noel Bruning, B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel DeBlock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has a floral Mickey Mouse with Main Street Railroad Station above, with the Ernest S. Marsh pulling passenger cars into the station. On the upper right, in pink, it reads, "Greetings from Disneyland." On the back it reads, "Guests entering Disneyland are greeted by a floral Mickey Mouse and the Santa Fe and Disneyland Depot, where a scaled-down model of a passenger train of another era puffs out of the station to take them on a scenic tour of Disneyland." It's postmarked July 2nd, 1976, with an Anaheim cancel and a 9-cent Capitol Dome Right of People Peaceably to Assemble postage stamp. It's got number 1591. I assume they visit the park on Thursday, July 1st, 1976, when park hours were from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. The weather was a high of 83 and a low of 62. It's addressed to Mr. and Mrs. R. Lennon of Auburn, Washington. It reads, "Thursday evening. Hi, it's been very hot. Today was bearable, though. Visited Universal Studios, relatives, and saw a new game show filmed, Hot Seat. It will be on July 28th. Today we saw Disneyland. Tomorrow Knott's Berry Farm and more relatives. We'll be heading up Highway 101 on Saturday. Plan to be in San Francisco for the 4th. Then on to East California and East Oregon. We'll be home July 11th. Rhonda." Last week, when looking for a good postcard for 1976, I found this postcard. Rhonda would have missed seeing Disneyland's 4-day 4th of July Bicentennial Salute, but she did attend the taping of a new hit game show, Hot Seat. Today, we'll take a break from the park and look at the short-lived game show. Hot Seat aired on ABC, now owned by Disney, starting on July 12, 1976. Based on this postcard, they might have been at the first few tapings of the show. It was hosted by Jim Peck with studio announcer Kenny Williams. The show was similar to the Newlywed Game. 2 married couples would compete to win a car or vacation. One spouse would sit in the hot seat, connected to a galvanic skin response device that measured skin conductivity associated with emotional stress, or a type of lie detector, with monitors on the index and ring finger of the person. The other spouse would be asked questions, knowing that partner would be asked to answer, "No, I wouldn't feel that way," or "No, I wouldn't do that." Knowing that their partner would answer in the negative, they would be asked which one their spouse would prefer. A question might be, "Would you prefer a night out to see a movie or a cozy night in to watch a movie?" The meter would read which one was the lie versus which one was less than the lie. 3 questions were asked at the $100, $200, and $400 value. Both couples would play against each other to see which one could win the most money. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to enfieldpost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and enfieldpost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has the Mark Twain coming around Cascade Peak. You can see the Disneyland band playing on the bottom deck of the boat and the waterfall of Cascade Peak on the right. If you look closely, you can see the top of Fort Wilderness. On the back it reads, Mark Twain, the stately Mark Twain sternwheeler steamboat cruises past Cascade Mountain Waterfall on a journey along Frontierland's Rivers of America. It's postmarked July 7th, 1967, with a Brea cancel and a 5-cent gray George Washington postage stamp, Scott number 1213. I assume they visited the park on Thursday, July 6th, 1967, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to midnight. The weather was a high of 78 and a low of 63. It's addressed to Miss Lillian Miller of Brooklyn, New York. It reads, Dear Lillian, I'm enjoying myself very much, and the weather here is wonderful. Paid a visit here to Disneyland, and it is marvelous. Don Hartman. The couple with the most money after the first round would have a choice to take their money home, up to $700, or around $4,000 adjusted for inflation, or play a one-question round, all or nothing, for a trip to Palm Springs and a Chevrolet Vega, prizes that would equal out to $3,400. If the winning couple went for the prize, the losing couple would walk away with $500, around $3,000 based on today's inflation. There were a few reasons that the show only lasted around 3 months. First is that it replaced the long-running Let's Make a Deal. Second was its time slot going up against soap operas. Third was the awkward questions that were not as entertaining as a Newlywed Game. And lastly, the skepticism against the pseudo lie detector device used in the game. The show debuted on the same day as the original version of the Family Feud with Richard Dawson. Hot Seat's limited run, only 75 episodes, and the fact that most of the master tapes of the show were recorded over, makes episodes hard to find and a rare commodity amongst TV game show fans and collectors. The last episode aired on October 22nd, 1976. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming postcard has 2 koalas sitting in a tree and reads, San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. On the back it reads, San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is an international nonprofit conservation organization with 2 front doors. We integrate wildlife health and care, science and education to develop sustainable conservation solutions. Conservation is at the heart of everything we do, and it starts with the connection that we make with people and wildlife every day, because when wildlife thrives, all life thrives. It's postmarked June 22nd, 2026, with a San Diego Freedom 250 cancel, and a dark red Lisa Dahlia Forever postage stamp, Scott number 5999. It reads, June 21, 2026. Hi Clocky. I am here at the San Diego Zoo today with my mom. We just got to see a mom and baby koala, just like the front of this card. That was my favorite so far, but we also saw sleepy pandas, hungry giraffes, and a herd of elephants. The weather is fantastic so far, much cooler than at home. So far, the crowds are not too bad either. Hope you're having a relaxing weekend, Angela. Thank you so much for the postcard, Angela. The San Diego Zoo is a great place to visit, especially with great weather. It's always fun when I'm looking up a postcard's history when the sender writes about what the weather is like. The first postcard of this episode mentions the heat. Although the day that they were at Disneyland was only in the mid-80s, a few days before, temperatures were around 100 degrees. The other fun side quest on that postcard was looking up taking 101 versus the 5 going north to San Francisco. But at the time, there were sections of Interstate 5 that were not yet complete, so 101 would have been the most direct route. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sent from Disneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.